One of the reasons I think why we love coming to nature, why we love to be here, is because it actually reminds us of the God consciousness. The very God consciousness that created us humans, created all of this as well. And I'm sitting here by this tree that has fallen over, or may she be chopped down, and she must be a good cuppa, 100 years old. But I'm no different from her, because in the very days that she was growing, from the tiny little tree that she started at, she was growing into this magnificent, magnificent being. And she lived her life the same way I'm living my life. And as I'm growing and growing and growing, and you're growing and growing, and each of us are growing, we're also at the same time going back. We're going back and back and back to Mother Nature. We're going back to the Christ consciousness that created us, the very thing that we remove ourselves from day in and day out. And one of the beautiful things that I experienced in my life, and it really always said was my grace period, is where I had to learn the difference between what was my mind and what was my heart and what was my soul. And having an understanding that most of us, we live our lives from an ego point of view. Just learning the vulnerability of who we are. Because we know, like a dandelion, at any moment of our lives, we can be gone. We can leave this life. You know, I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning thinking that, oh good, today I'm going to cross over, my life is going to end in this form. I don't think so, because some people fall from a scaffolding, some people get hit by a car. So to be able to be the age that you are right now, isn't that just remarkable? To live a life in gratitude, because that is how vulnerable we are. Nature teaches us, all of this beauty around us, teaches us just as to how incredibly vulnerable we are. And we might go off, and I'm not saying we mustn't strive and achieve and things like that, but to make that your life and to not realize that life is actually about love. Life is about gratitude and love. And you know, we have been given our senses. We've been given 6 senses, 7 senses. Who knows how many senses we've been given? But we don't learn, we don't use them, we don't value them. The media, society, everything, you know, it's all fantastic, but it also misleads us. It misleads us from the truth of who we really are. And we give so little focus in this life to our spiritual selves, to understanding fully what we are as a human being. And what are we meant to be doing here? Why are we here? When we're little, we're actually removed. We're totally taken out of this. We're totally taken away from this. And we're put in a building. You know, how many little children have their schools learn about what it is they need to learn? How many of them are actually learning from nature? We teach everyone, our young people, our little children, how to become better at the internet, how to have a smartphone. And yet all of our senses, all of the very things that we are, it's not even that we have to learn. So we get to an older age in our lives and we spend our lives trying to get back to this because we're so far away. And you know, the funny thing is, we're actually living to die. All the great teachers and all the great masters teach us that. And that's not meant to make you depressed. That's meant to make us have more gratitude, more simplicity in our lives.